Welcome students, welcome to our English classes once again. So you know that in the previous class we learned about the plurals and that too about the irregular plurals that are used in English, which are derived from Latin and Greek words. I think you understood the concept. So secondly we learned about the exclamation marks, interjections. So we learned about the symbols, words that are used in interjections, and in the textbook a table is also given for you. I gave it as a homework. I hope you all did that homework and posted them in your concerned WhatsApp groups. Now coming to the third section. Third section, page number 55. So in page number 55 we have compound adjectives. So what is the heading? Compound adjectives. So you know about the meaning of adjectives. Parts of speech, how many parts of speech are there? You know about it. Noun, pronoun, adverb, adjective, interjection, conjunction, preposition. So all these are parts of speech. So this is one of the parts of speech that we use in English. What is it? Adjective. So what is adjective? So adjective is a word that will qualify a noun, that will tell us something about a noun. Good boy. So take for example, good boy. So here boy is a noun and this good is telling something about this boy. It is telling the quality of this boy. So good is an adjective. Beautiful. Picture. Picture is a noun and beauty is an adjective. So like that we have many adjectives in English. So that depends on the sentence. First of all we have to identify the noun. The word which is talking or telling something, some quality about this noun is called an adjective. Here we are talking about the compound adjectives. Compound adjective means the adjectives, if 2 or 3 adjectives are placed together, they become the compound adjectives. So in speaking, so you want to express something. You want to express something in your words. So at that time, one adjective may not be sufficient. So we have to join 1, 2, 3 adjectives together to describe a particular noun or an object or a person. So those are called compound adjectives. So in this section, we are going to learn about the compound adjectives. So some examples are given or taken from the textbook, from our lesson, from the play, and see what is a compound adjective. So Henry and Mrs. Slater staggered in with a pretty old-fashioned bureau. Old-fashioned. Old-fashioned bureau. So this is the example taken from the textbook. Old-fashioned bureau. So here what is the noun? Bureau is the noun. And this old-fashioned is talking about this noun bureau. So it is a compound adjective. So fashioned bureau. Fashion is one adjective. Old is another adjective. So these two adjectives are combined together to describe this noun bureau. So one old bureau is enough. Fashion bureau is enough. But they want to express something about this bureau. So one adjective is not sufficient here. So they combine these two adjectives and they describe the noun bureau. So here old-fashioned is an adjective. It is a compound adjective which is describing the bureau. So see the second one. Mrs. Slater rose briskly at length in a business-like. In a business-like. Who rose how did Slater rose? So she rose in a business-like tone. So if you won't write the noun there, you can't understand what is an adjective and what is a noun. Here tone, voice, sound is a noun. So how did she talk? She talked in a business-like tone. So business-like tone is a compound adjective. Okay, so here we are learning about the compound adjective. See the third one, reddish grey eyebrows. See here. Shall I have this one? Okay. Reddish grey. So colors also come under adjectives. Eyebrow. So here eyebrows are expressed. So reddish grey is expressing the eyebrows of a person, eyebrows of able. So eyebrows means they are noun, and this is compound adjective. So I think you observed a common thing in all these sentences. So even if I write business-like or reddish grey, or it may be old-fashioned. So in all these sentences, in all these adjectives, you find a common thing. I will explain you later. And see the fourth one, double-faced behavior. Double-faced behavior. So behavior is a noun. And double-faced behavior is talking about the behavior of a person. So it is also an adjective. So if you observe these four compound adjectives in the four sentences, you observe a common hyphen, a small dash between these two words. Right here, old-fashioned, nice one. Here, reddish grey. Here, double-faced. So what is the importance of placing this small dash or hyphen between these two words? So if you put a small hyphen between these two words, they are considered as a single sentence or single word. If you won't put a small hyphen between these two words, old will become one word and fashion become another word. But what we are doing here, we are combining these two adjectives and we are combining them with an hyphen, so that this one will come under a common or a single word. Okay, then it will become an adjective. So here the underlined word in the above four sentences are compound adjectives. So here reddish grey is a compound adjective, double-faced is a compound adjective, business-like is a compound adjective, and old-fashioned is a compound adjective. So in hyphened form, this is very important, hyphened form. So if you won't write this hyphen, what will happen? Very long stick. So this is a sentence. So here I am not placing hyphen. See the difference. What will happen if you place an hyphen, and what will happen if you won't put a hyphen? Very long stick. Stick is a noun, long is an adjective, and what is this very? Very is also talking about stick. Long is also talking about stick. So if I place hyphen, this very long will become a single word, sorry. If I won't place it, long will become adjective and very will become adverb. The parts of speech will be changed entirely if you won't place the hyphen. Whereas if you place the hyphen, this entire thing will come under adjective form. So that's why hyphen should be placed compulsorily if you want to express it as an adjective form. Otherwise, the entire form will be changed. Yes. So in an hyphened form, a compound adjective is an adjective that comprises more than one word. hyphens are used to link the word. So why it is important? Why the hyphen is important? Because we are linking the words here. If you won't put that hyphen, that word will be a separate word. Old will be a separate word and fashion will be a separate word. Reddish will become a separate word and grey will become a separate word. So, but we are combining with an hyphen. We are linking these two words to form a compound adjective. How many adjectives you want to put in that sentence? So many adjectives you can place, but we have to add them, link them, join them, combine them with a small hyphen. Understand? So that is the importance of hyphen. So if you look at the textbook page number, same page number, we see a matching. A matching is given in your textbook. A side and B side. List A and list B. Some words are given on the A side and some words are given on the B side. We have to match these words to form a meaningful. So don't combine them or join them as you like. So we should get a meaning out of them. For example, clear. So let me write the A side words. New. Here cold. For. Curly. Well. Half. Peacock, and let me write the last one here, long. I think you can't find that. Cold, for, curly, well, half, 5, peacock, and long. In the same way, some words are given on the B side also. Last, sunk, head, blood, day, star, red, white, blue, and next one side. So like that, A side words and B side words are given here. The first one was done as an example for it. See the first one. So this is one adjective and these are some adjectives. So by combining these two adjectives, you should make a compound adjective. So form a compound adjective by combining these two words. So while combining these two words, we should not forget to put an hyphen between them. So first one is clear sighted. So you have to change the verb forms also. Sight, sighted. So clear sighted. That can be seen clearly is called clear sighted. Clear sighted spectacles, like that. Next one, new. So which word is suitable for new? Which word is suitable for cold? So we know about cold-blooded mother. Next one, new. Next, come on. So try to do them. New, laid. New laid. So after read, lay. So lay. See, new laid, cold blood. Next one, curly head, half sunk. So like that you match these words, you match it in your CW books and try to form the compound adjectives and do it as your homework and post them in your WhatsApp. So day after tomorrow, so when we take up the next class, I will explain the examples. Or otherwise you copy it, within 1 minute I will tell the answers also. Which one do you like? Shall I tell the answers? Okay. So new laid. Next one, cold blooded. Next, 4 days. So I want 4 days leave. So like that you write the leave letters to your teacher. Curly headed. So curly headed. Next one, well read. Well read. So we got a well read teacher for our English. So well educated. Well read means well educated. Half sunk. Half sunk. 5-star hotel. 5-star. Okay. So hotel is a noun. 5-star is describing about that hotel. So 5-star. Peacock blue. Peacock blue. My mother presented a peacock blue dress on my birthday. Next one, long lasting. So long lasting. So it is somewhat confusing for you. So I just write like this only to confuse you. So you write it in your CW books in a proper way. Clear, cited. How it is written here, so that you have to write in your CW books like that also. New. So what is the new? Newly laid. Newly laid. Next one, cold blooded. Cold blooded. 4 days. Next one, curly headed. Next one, well read. Now don't confuse. Read, read. Read is in present tense, read is in the past tense. But the spelling is same for both these things. Okay? So half sunk. Half sunk. Half sunk means half sunk ship. 5-star. So I am writing the answers for you. Peacock blue. And next one, long lasting. So I know how to do the homework, that's why I am only writing the answers here. So long lasting means long lasting batteries. So they work for many days. So they are called long lasting batteries. So these are the answers. Simply now you copy these answers in your HW books and write them two times. Okay? If you do it on your own, you have to write only once. But just you are copying them from the blackboard, so you write them 2 times. Okay. So next important one is, basing on these words, basing on these compound words, you should write the answers for the blanks given in page number 56. In page number 56, some sentences are given for you and you have to write the answers by choosing the best one from these matchings. Okay? So I will tell you one, you try to do the remaining. First one, Sindhu is very dash about her choice. Sindhu is very dash about her choice. So which one will be the best option for this question? Sindhu is very about her choice. Is it newly laid? There is no meaning. Is it cold-blooded? No. Where do we use this cold-blooded? For murders, for crimes. It is a cold-blooded murder. For that we use this cold-blooded. 4 days. So if you want something from 4 days leave or 4 days permission, there you write 4 days. Curly-headed. When you are describing a person who is having a curly hair, we use this one. Well-read, education, intelligence of a person. Half-sunk. If something is sunk in the water or sunk there, we use half-sunk. 5-star to describe or explain about the hotels or something. Describing the dresses, we use peacock blue. Long-lasting. So what will be the right one here? Clear-sighted. Clear-sighted means having a good vision about the future, good idea or good plan about the future. So here it will be the right one. Sindhu is very clear-sighted. Sindhu is very clear-sighted about her choice. She is very, very clear. She is having a perfect idea about her choice. So this is the right one. So what will be the right choice for the remaining one? So you read these sentences. So those who are not having textbooks, so again I am suggesting you to download from the internet for free of cost. Nobody is collecting any amount for it. So at least from the internet you download your textbooks and write down the answers. There is no excuse for not doing the homeworks. See, second one. The headmaster suggested a dash trip to Hyderabad. So headmaster is going to Hyderabad for a trip. For how many days? For 4 days. So this will be the second one answer. For 4 days trip. The dash girl who is under the tree is my sister. You are describing a person. Already this one is over. This is also over. Newly laid, no. Cold-blooded, no. Curly-headed girl. So we are describing that girl. Curly-headed girl sitting under the tree is my sister. So that will be the right answer. After the terrible tempest. Tempest means severe wind. After the terrible tempest, the dash sailing boat was unsuitable. Half sunk. Here what is the answer? Half sunk boat was not suitable or unsuitable. Prasad booked a room in a dash hotel. It's very clear. 5-star hotel. So it is not hotel. We should pronounce it as hotel. H is silent. And every week dash eggs are used. So what kind of eggs are used every day? Newly laid eggs. Very clear. Newly laid eggs. The peacock blue coat. So we are describing the coat worn by the person. What kind of coat he is wearing? Peacock blue color. So this is the right one, 7th one. And next one. It was a dash war. The war continued. The Second World War, First World War continued for more years. So long lasting. So it is long lasting. There is a long lasting word. Here long lasting. Next, I like to correspond with this well-read teacher. Teacher is well educated. So here we can write well-read. So I missed one thing here. All the people were shocked at the sight of this dash murder. So murder is explained with cold-blooded. So you can write here. So I think I wrote the wrong numbers here. So once again you look at them. So clear sighted is the first one, curly headed will be the second one, and cold blooded will be the third one, and half sunk fourth one. 4 days is second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one half sunk. Sixth one is the 5 star. Seventh one is newly laid. Eighth one peacock blue. Ninth one long lasting. This is ninth one. And 10th one well read. Okay, so these are the answers for the blanks given in page number 56. So you read them properly and try to understand the meaning so that you can write the answers even for the unknown sentences given in your exams also. Next, so I think you understand this concept well. If you can't understand in the first listening, again you play the video and try to understand them. If you have any doubts or queries, you are always welcome to get them rectified through your WhatsApp groups, or you can directly come to the school and ask your teachers. Okay? So this is about the compound adjectives. English is a very confusing language. So not only for Indians, even the English people are also feeling confused about this language. How it is confusing? How it is confusing us, let us learn in the next concept, in the fourth concept. So why it is a confusing language? So words. So we use many words in our spoken form, and some words are said to be repeated again. So in the recent point I explained about red. So how to pronounce this word, sir? So you may get a doubt. So some people read it as read, some people read it as read. Which is the correct form? So both are correct, but when it is in the present form, we read it as read. I read this book, I read that book, like that. So but when you are using it in the past form, the spelling is same, but the pronunciation is different. So we read it as read. I read that book, you read that book, like that. So spelling is same, but depending on the situation, tense, we change the pronunciation. The same way, the sun rises in the east. Okay, so these are all the confusing words we use in English language. There are certain words which are pronounced alike, but their meanings are different. So we call them as words often confused. Words often confused. So some words are given here in your textbook for our understanding purpose, but in English there are thousands and thousands of words such that. For example, if I say, Ma, go to sea and take a bath. Sir, what sea, sir? Is it C or C? SESC or SEEC? So both are C's, both are pronounced alike. But depending on the situation, go to C means go to C, SESC. Ma, see the blackboard. See your textbooks. So there you should write SEEC. Week. So I am very weak, sir, today I can't read the lessons. So what week it is? Is it Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, like that? So that is also a week and this is also a week. Both are pronounced alike, but spellings are different and meanings are also entirely different. So these are called words confusing this. Words often confuse. So this is very important concept in English. In order to confuse us, they confuse the students. So see some examples. Read the following sentences and note the underlined words. Mrs. Jordan said, accept this gold watch. What is the underlined word? Accept this gold watch. He promised that to our Jimmy. So what is the meaning of accept? So two words, accept, accept. Sometimes we may also puzzled, confused while using these two words. Accept, accept. What is the meaning of accept? Expect, expect. That is also a word. Expect is also there in English. So what is accept? Accept means, the meaning of accept is given in textbook. Accept means excluding, apart from, excluding. Except Ramesh, the remaining students can leave the classroom. Except the English students, the math students can leave the class. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this sentence? So all the students, all the English students should remain here, and the remaining students can leave the class. Except means excluding, they are not taken into consideration. Apart from them means all the remaining students can go, but English students should compulsorily stay in the class. That is called accept. Accept. Except you. All the students stand on the bench. Except you means you no need to stand, but remaining students should stand on the bench. This is the meaning of accept. Excluding, excluding means to remove. So accept that person is removed or exempted. So that is the meaning of accept. And what is the meaning of expect? So we are expecting schools to be opened within few days. The government is expected to release an order to open the schools, to conduct the exams. So this is called expecting. We think something is going to happen in future. That is expect. We expect warm greetings to you. We expect a great prosperity to you. Okay? Hope. Expecting means to hope, to wish. Then accept means I accept your leave letter. I accept means to give permission. I accept your orders. So this is called accept. Accept and expect. So these are really confusing, and they are very, very, very needed to each other. If you don't know, if you fumble in pronouncing them, you get an entirely different meaning. We get an entirely different meaning, and the listeners cannot get proper meaning out of your sentence. So we have to practice them regularly so that we can pronounce them properly and get the meaning in time. The second one, accept. So the slacker did not accept the proposal. Accept is also there. So accept I already over here. So accept, ACCE. So accept means to allow. That's what I told now. So in the above sentences, the word expect and accept took the sound alike but have different meanings and spellings. Spellings are different and meanings are also different. So the first meaning is excluding the 12. Accept means to allow, to agree. So difference in meaning and also difference in spelling. But the pronunciations are very, very, very close to each other. So some words are given in our textbook. So I give you it as homework. Today I am not going to explain them. So I give them as your homeworks. You verify your dictionaries. Compulsorily you verify your dictionaries. You write the meaning and also you write your own sentence. You can write your own sentence or you can copy it from your dictionaries also. But if you copy one sentence from your dictionary, you should try to write one more own sentence in your CW books. So Roman number 4A. Roman number 4A, page number 56 is your homework. So what are the words here? Altar, altar, gate, gate, principal, canvas. So like that 10 words are given here. Check, compliment, already, ceiling, stationery, advice. So what are these words? Stationery, advice. So all these are very important words which are really confusing us. For example, I will tell the meaning for the first one. Alter. So alter means we go to the tailor and give our shirts, old shirts, and ask him to alter them. And in our mathematics also we find some alternatives. So if we can do the sum in one way and you can do it in the alternative way also. Alternative means the other way. So alter means, that is the one meaning. Alter means changing. Next meaning is altar is a place where we pray the God. Is a place. If you go to a church or somewhere, there the devotees sit on their knees and pray the God. So that is an altar. Next one, principle. Principle. Principle means rule. My principle is not to say lies. My principal gave me permission to write the exams, or to my principal gave me leave for 4 days. Principal means head of the institution. Principal means rule. So which one is correct you have to write. Next one, gate. Gate is there. We enter the school through our gates. That is gate. GAIT is given. Here GAIT means the style of walking. Especially in movies we see the rowdies walking in a gaity manner. Gaity manner means by spreading their legs, by putting their legs that side and this side, and they walk like a rowdies. That is called, that is the style of walking. So like that canvas. Canvas means cloth. Canvas cloth. Canvas means propaganda. During the elections, the political parties canvass about their principles and parties. Check. Ma, check your books, all of you. That is one kind of check. Ma, my boss gave me a check of 1 lakh rupee. So that is also a check. So both are pronounced alike. Ma, one word is given here. So don't forget. Sorry. One word is given here. You have to find out the other word. So actually this is the example. CHECK, check. Check means to verify. What is the other one? Check. CHEQUE. So this check is not given here. So this check you have to find it in the dictionary. I gave only one. One word is given in the textbook. The other words meaning and other words own sentence you should write in your CW books. And next one, compliment. Compliment. Compliment means praise. Another compliment means which is used in addition to other, in place of one. Already, already, already. So try to find out the meanings. Already, already. All are ready. Already. Already I completed the first paragraph. And all are ready for the picnic. Understand? Yes. Ceiling. Ceiling, that is the ceiling. And there is another meaning for ceiling also. Seal, we put the seal to the bottles. The government seized. The government seized the institution. And next one, stationery and another stationery. STATIONARY is given in the textbook. Stationery, one meaning is bookstall, where we get the pens, papers, books, etc. So bookstalls are also called stationery shops. And another meaning of stationery is the stationary objects won't have any energy or force or something. We learn in our PS lesson, stationary objects. So what is the meaning of stationary means? The table is in a stationary motion. There is no movement. Another stationery is bookshops, where we get the books, pens, etc. And next one, advice. ADVICE. And another advice is also called, another advice is also there. In the same way, breathe. BREATH is there and BREATHE is also there. So you sincerely verify your dictionaries, find out their meanings and write your own sentences in your CW books and post them in your respective groups. So this is about today's grammar. I hope you all understood this concept. We shall meet in the next class. Until then, you verify whatever we completed so far. So some of the students are coming to school, but they are not following the videos and they are not understanding the subject. But you don't come with blank minds. So you come with some doubts. Purpose of coming to school is to get your doubts clarified. So then only there will be some use of for coming to the school. So you read this, follow these videos, note everything in your books. You don't need to put new books. You can write in some old books or in some other books what are available with you. But don't waste your time and don't spend your time leisurely. So try to do some fruitful work at your home and get your doubts clarified if you have any. And one more important thing is you stay at your home and be safe and protect yourself at your houses. Okay, thank you.